I've spoken about it before, how Aisha was a 9-year-old girl, and there's no doubt about that. There's no disagreement on that. Well, I'll keep on going, but I think this is very important because we need to talk about this. This is Sahih Bukhari 3894. There's a long hadith. Long story short, Aisha didn't want to get married, but she did. Unexpectedly, Allah's apostle came to me in the forenoon, and my mother handed me over to him. And at that time, I was at a girl of 9 years of age. Just remember these lines.
Oh my
Just
God,
remember this line.
mate.
Unexpectedly, Allah's apostle came to me in the forenoon, and my mother handed me over to him. Now I'm going to play this video to you that CNN just covered, and just imagine what happened here.
We're back with our world lead now in a distressing story out of Afghanistan, showing the harsh reality of the humanitarian crisis engulfing the country, especially post-Taliban rule. Desperate families so impoverished, they tell CNN they have no choice but to sell their young daughters into some twisted form of marriage. In this exclusive report, CNN.
So CNN, being a liberal TV outlet, said that in a twisted form of marriage. So in a twisted form of Islamic marriage is the key here, because that's what it is. I just quoted you the hadith, the respectable hadith, Sahih Bukhari.
And witnesses the tragic fate facing these helpless little girls in this culture where girls and women are too often treated horrific.
Not culture, religion.
Among its residents, 9-year-old Parwana.
9-year-old, what a coincidence.
Her bright pink dress squeals of laughter and childhood games, earning $3 a day, providing the basic staples to survive. But since the Taliban takeover 2.5 months ago, any money or assistance has dried up.
So here, where's this part? Here is that the child that you just witnessed. His husband-to-be, Prince Charming, is here.
He's bought Parwana for 200,000 Afghanis, just over $2,000 US. Covered up, Parwana whimpers as her mother holds her.
She's whimpering. And again, going back to that hadith again, my mother handed me over to him. This is exactly the replica of what was happening 1,400 years ago. And this is distressful for a lot of people. Sorry, I should have given that warning earlier, but keep going with that. Just watch the child's reaction. I mean, what bothers me is that child, but I think child still knows about it. So sorry, I'll just quickly go through it.
This is your bride. Please take care of her, says Parwana's father. Of course I will take care of her, replies the man. His large hands grab her small frame. Parwana tries to pull away. As he throws her only bag of belongings, she again resists.
There you go. She resists. She says, no, I don't want to go.
Digging her heels into the dirt. But it's futile.
Isn't there that hadith exactly is honestly like this situation manifested?
Yeah, it
My
doesn't
mother
say.
handed me over to him. Do you know what that means? That implies resistance.
Yeah.
No, nobody willingly goes to a man that age. When your childhood, your family, everything you know is being snatched from you. And like everyone who's watching this, and how disgusted you feel with that 9-year-old girl we just witnessed being taken away when she's putting her heels into the ground to not go with this man. Look at the way he grabs her, first of all. If that doesn't stick in you in itself, I mean, first of all, your father's at a younger age than that man is. It's absolutely disgusting. And that's what the so-called prophet of Islam carried out. It's mind-blowing that people would still consider this man to be, you need to emulate him as the best of humankind. Is that a man that we would consider the best of humankind, the one we just saw taking away a 9-year-old girl?
Yeah, literally what Muhammad would have looked like.
That's exactly what he would have looked like doing that.
This is it. This is it. White beard, little child who's barely, the size of his leg, and look at that hadith. It's just I was playing. Came to me. Rahman came to me while I was playing in a swing with some of my girlfriends. She called me and I went to her, not knowing what she wanted to do to me. She caught me by the end. by the hand and made me stand at the door of the house. I was breathless then, and when my breathing became all right, she took some water and rubbed my face and head with it. Just look, exactly, this is exactly how this girl's been prepared. This is exactly how she's been prepared.
So horrible.
And some girls like this as well. Look at this. This is a baby. This is a child. And look at that man. What drove him? I mean, I would be so embarrassed even to put that to my thought that, like, I want to get married to a 10-year-old. Like, I'd be embarrassed. But here, it's normal. Let's walk in. Let's go to a house, make a proposal, say, hey, can I marry your little 9-year-old girl? And here's the money. How is this not transactional?
Yeah, because we've also talked about this before, right? Like, that's not mentally healthy where you're that age and you're craving to marry a little girl of that age. That's just not a mentally healthy, like, person, realistically. But because the Prophet did it, like, I remember that girl herself, we discussed this on Ghalib stream, that girl was a little bit older and she was like, I'd rather kill myself. Because at that point you've got a bit more wherewithal where you would like, I would not want anybody that I don't consent to, like, even near me, like, let alone being handed over to a 50-year-old man. Like, that's repulsive. But the sooner you get older, which is why I think Islam tries to grab you at that age, because the sooner you get older and you can, like, have some resistance and fight back and kind of, like, form your own thoughts, and you understand how disgusting and repulsive this is without just being, like, it enforced on you by your family, which is what these younger girls are going through. I think Ghalib carried on that video. There was a girl even younger. She was 4. Like, are you serious? Like, it's literally, our brains can't process this, It's like living in the West, we just can't. And this is, like you said, a normal transactionary, it's just a casual Tuesday for these old men in Afghanistan. But why? It's because they know their sources so very well. They know that the Prophet did the exact same thing. This is actually probably sunnah to them.
It's not even, Muslims make an argument from nature. They say, oh, well, naturally we have one purpose. Oh, your biologists say that, we're here to propagate genes and it should come natural to them. Even that is not coming naturally to the child because the child is resisting. So it's not like it's a Western idea that tells you, hey, children should get married. The child this child doesn't know anything about Western values or what's the older age, what's the accept. She doesn't know anything about anything. And even she had this instinctive reaction where she is resisting to it.
Yeah,
so
that shows slavery. It's horrible. It's pedophilia. It's child rape. There's so many things embedded in this. But again, when we talked about the hymen surgeries earlier, it's just the way that religion treats women and the way that women and girls are looked at. We're just a property. We don't have anything else. We can't live without a man, or we are not an individual without being latched on to a man. That's what has been propagated since the 7th century, or I'd say all religions are like that. But Islam is insanely detrimental to women. Yeah. Where do we see this many child marriages? I'm sorry. It's a phenomenon in our own countries more than anything. Where do we see cousin marriages? Most of the world considers that incestuous. Our people love it. They think it's so honorable. Yeah.
All right. Just on another note, I'll play another video where what this actually represents. There's another video that came out. I think some people say it's from Saudi Arabia, some people say it's from Yemen. There's another older man, about 60 plus, and the child is about 12 years old. Have a look. This is how it is. Again, perfectly normal. Muhammad did it, and that's why these people think it's a virtue. It's a virtuous act.
ادخل صالح ادخل زغطة يلا خير ادخل صالح اخويا خصمي صالح ركب المفتاح احليلك يا صالح احليلك ما اقدر اوكي
So that little child was his new child bride, as you saw. So that is literally this hadith in action. Aisha being 9, Muhammad being 53. So anyway, I'll leave it with you leave it at that.